Howdy there, y'all. Yamasaki here. Welcome back to the channel. And today we're going to be looking at all these vintage Coleman lanterns. Now I actually picked these up about a week ago at my local antique market, and there's a very good reason for that. Nostalgia. Back when I was a kid, we actually had a couple Coleman lanterns out at the cabin that we had miles and miles up in the mountains away from civilization. We didn't have any electricity or anything like that, only when we brought a generator with us. But one of them I still have, and it's this guy right here. It's an old Coleman unleaded 2. It was made, let's check it out here. It was made in 91. It was made in 91. It's always started up for me. It's followed me to Wyoming and back and all that, and they work and they bring back a lot of nostalgia for me. And while me and my friends were at the antique market the other day, I stumbled upon this guy here. This big one here I got really cheap, and it's actually in fairly good condition. Everything's there, and it comes with this reflector here, which I had never seen on a lantern before. And this thing actually dates back to the 1940s. I'm not exactly sure when, but it is a model 228D. I am actually going to plan on restoring all of these lanterns. Well, not really restoring, but at least getting them back up and running. But this is the first one I bought. And then I saw all these other ones, and the gal that, I don't know if she owns it or if she just helps runs it, but she actually made me a deal on all these other ones. And I got one more, but it's not in here because I'm actually tearing it apart and restoring it, and I will show you it at the end of this video, towards the end at least. But I have them all lined up from oldest to newest. So we'll just go ahead and start over here. Now, I have been watching some videos and stuff recently about all these old Coleman lanterns, and it's actually a pretty well thought out collectible item because they work, there's a whole bunch of them, and you can believably still buy parts for these things, including this one, which is, I believe this one is a very, very old 1920s Coleman, and I actually put a picture up on a Facebook group that is all about Coleman, and they said that this is a Coleman Quick Light. You can actually see on the band there that it says Quick Light. It's a 327, and they were built between the 20s and I believe the mid-30s. I'm not sure, but this is the oldest one out of all of these, and it's really cool. I like it a lot. I'm missing the pump because unlike all these other ones that actually have the integrated pump in it, I'll zoom in here, you actually have the filler cap and the pump as one unit, and you would actually have an external pump, and you would pump it that way to put pressure in the tank, which I never knew about. But that's the oldest one. I plan on getting it running. This one's going to be a bugger because the generator here, which is on all of these as well for you people that don't know Coleman's that well. And mind you, I'm still a beginner, but I've learned a lot just by the minimal amount of research I've done on these things. But that's the generator, and that actually gets hot between the mantles and heats this up and vaporizes the fuel that comes up through the fount or the tank right here. But it is really, really rusted down at this square nut, so I know this one's going to be a project. So that's the oldest one. The next oldest one I have is a 242. I believe it's a B. Let me look here. Yep, it's a 242B. This one's also in nice condition. It's got a globe. It's actually got the really old globe. I think this is the original one, but I don't know if you can barely see, but it says Coleman, and that's the really old way they used to stamp their globes. But I really like this one. It's got the nickel tank. It's got the classic green enamel on the top that we all know and love. This one still has a mantle on it. And surprisingly, this one, out of most of these which don't hold pressure, this one actually holds pressure a little bit, but I'm still going to need to do a whole bunch of work to it. These caps here, I've done research, and these older caps, which I never knew even existed, have this little hole there, and that's where the gas escapes when you release this cap, because this piece is loose in here, if you can see, held on by that screw. And this is a smaller cap than all these other ones, and they're actually quite dangerous because of all that gas escape in that hole. It shoots up into the globe, and you got yourself a little hand grenade here. But you can buy replacement inserts or whatever that piece is with the seal on it to make sure it's as safe as possible. That's the 242B. We went over this guy. On to this next one here. This one is a 220F. I don't know if you can see that as well. It's a 220F. It's another one that's in fairly nice shape, missing the globe. Got some big mantles. It's missing the pump, but you can replace that for a dime a dozen. Probably going to have to go through the check valve and everything like that. But this one's a good candidate to get up and going. And these three on the very right side are known as the iconic 200As. I guess they made millions of these things, which makes sense as to why I found 4 of them. But this one is a 63 200A, missing the globe. Paint's in fairly good condition. Probably going to have to go through this one. I'm probably going to have to buy new generators and check valves for most of these, because I don't know how long they've been sitting around not being used. And there was one more that I got with this whole bunch of lanterns, and it was a 1984 Coleman CL2 with the original box. And it had fuel in it and mantles on it, so all I had to do was put a match to it and it fired right up. I cleaned it up. It's in immaculate shape. I'm not going to be able to show it in this video, but I will when I do. I'm going to do separate videos on all of these lanterns once they're all done and up and running, but I figured I'd show them as a whole as to the haul I got. But that one is the 63 200A. This one here is a 70, and this one was the one that I was originally going to buy, and then I was going to use these other two as parts lanterns, but on the Facebook group, everybody said that all of these can get going again, which I soon found out after I did more research. This one is the cleanest 200A I have out of the bunch, aside from the one I'm restoring right now, or at least reviving. It's got a amber glass globe to it, which I've never seen. Paint's in really good shape. It's got this actual safety filler cap on there. I was a little afraid because when I originally had this, it was missing that burner cap, but it was actually sitting down here, and I thought it was a completely different model because there's a hole in here and I was missing a part. But no, it was just the cap hanging down here on the frame, and so I screwed it back in. So there's that one. The last one is a 71 200A, and people said this is a burgundy, not burgundy. I like to say it burgundy because it's funny, but burgundy, judging by the pictures, but it's actually not. It's red. This might be a burgundy cap. I'm not sure. But this one's a 71, but it is, I believe, a valuable model because a lot of people are hunting for these black band models. I think I'm going to restore this one too. Not restore it, but revive it, clear coat this, clean this up and clear coat that. Leave it all original because it's got fairly good paint and everything, and that's probably what I'm going to do to all of these. I'm probably going to try and shine up the nickel on those. I might clear coat that one. I don't know if that, it looks like it's brass, but I would have no idea as to what color that is on that 228D there, because I saw another picture of one of those that had the same color fount, kind of like that. I don't know, very pukish green, kind of fainted brass color. I'm not sure. But that's all these lanterns, guys, and they're really old. They're really cool. That was the air compressor. I apologize for that, guys. But I think they're really cool, and they can all run again. I have a couple of stoves too. I don't know, they're just handy devices that are, I mean, that one is 102 years old, the one all the way over here, that 327. So I hope I can get all these running and use them, and I think it's really, really cool that, you know, you can still get parts for these things and still keep them running, and it's just a really fascinating, cool little hobby that I hope to entice myself and learn something new in. So I'm actually going to pause the video, guys, and go ahead and show you that I have a 59 200A that I'm actually restoring. And you guys might have seen that little snippet video that I posted up on my channel a couple of days ago. That was about that, me restoring it. Like I said, I'm going to do separate videos on all these lanterns when they're running, or I might do restoration videos. So comment down below, let me know what you guys want me to do with these things. I just want to get them running and keep them going and use them. So let's go check out this 58. And I apologize for that, guys. I said 58, I meant 59. But right here is my 59 200A, and I have it completely disassembled. I watched the video on Old Town Coleman Center, who's a Coleman nut, as I've come to find out, but I love it. He gives a lot of great information on how to repair and restore and keep these old machines running. So I have it all torn apart here, as you can see. I have the fount, the hat, or the top as people call it, the band. This goes up on top of the frame here. Now this thing was in pretty crusty shape, being that it is the 4th oldest one out of the lot that I got. I did put this in evaporust, the frame. I cleaned the inside of the fount. I took some vinegar and some nuts, and I shaked it around in there and took some acetone and flushed it out. I still got to get the check valve out, so I bought a special tool for that. But I cleaned all these other parts in vinegar and shined them up and cleaned them with a Scotch-Brite pad. And surprisingly, the vinegar works really well for cleaning brass, which I didn't really know or believe until I actually did it. These parts here that go on top of the frame here as part of the burner were completely caked in black carbon, but now you can almost see that they're brass, which is awesome. So it actually worked. The only thing I really left to do is wait for the parts, and I actually have to get this pump cup off. And on this one, on the newer ones, they have just like a little stopper that kind of snaps into place, but this is an actual nut that you can unscrew. But it is so caked on there after being in there for 60-some years. I'm going to have to take the torch to it to heat it up and hopefully expand that metal so I can unscrew that thing and get a new pump on there. If I can't, I'm going to have to steal it off of one of the other 200As. But I did soak the frame in evaporust, and it got a lot of it off. It was a lot worse than this, but it's still pretty rusty. And you can buy a new reproduction frame for a 200A off of old Coleman parts, which is a really nice little site. You can practically get every part you need for every lantern made by Coleman. You've got your valve, you've got your generator. Here's your generator right here. I ordered a new one of those. Ordered a new check valve. Ordered a new check valve air inlet, which is right here. And most of these parts I can probably still use. I could probably still use that. Or maybe the generator, but I just figured I would buy all new parts and get it going properly. I painted this piece. This piece goes on the top of the frame here like that. I clear coated the fount, as they call it, otherwise known as the tank, like I said. Nice, pretty, shiny red. I put 2 coats, just scuffed it up with a Scotch-Brite pad, but it's got all that character now, and it's preserved and sealed, so it'll last forever. But yeah, let's go ahead and go back to that lot. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much everything I have to show you for today. But I really hope that you enjoyed this video, guys. Like, subscribe, and comment for more content. And let me know what you guys want me to do with these lanterns. Whether I should paint them, do something custom, keep them original. Love to hear some feedback on that. So, yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment for more content, guys. And Yamasaki out. We'll see y'all later.